Hello, my name is Abigail. Welcome to We the Kids. The mission of our organization is to teach kids American history and the Constitution while doing projects. We the Kids is a division of Advance America Foundations and Sequest Kids, a 501c3 public charity education foundation. Our special guest today is Sheriff Brad Rogers of Elkhart County, Indiana. We have a panel who will be asking Sheriff Rogers questions on why our Constitution is important. The panel consists of representatives from We the Kids, WTK Teens, and members of the Princess Mishawaka Society, Children of the American Revolution. Now, Sheriff Brad Rogers.
Thanks, Abigail. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys today and to talk to you about the Constitution. This little pocket Constitution is really not very much, not very big, not difficult to read. It takes only a few minutes to read, and yet it can cause such turmoil in our society, and yet it can cause such stability as we hold dear to the tenets of this Constitution. So I'm excited about being with you today and talking with you about the Constitution.
And now we'll start with our first question.
Hello, my name is Anna, and I am from We the Kids. My question is, where were you born and where did you grow up at?
Okay, well, I was born in Goshen, Indiana, and I grew up in Elkhart County, and pretty much except for just a couple of years while I went to college, I had my first police job in Houston, Texas. I have basically been here all my life. So that means that for 27 years now, I've been at the Elkhart County Sheriff's Department.
My name's Jacob. I'm from the CAR. Do you have a family and children?
Yes, Jacob, I do. I have 3 children. They're adopted, and they're part of my life every day, and that makes life an adventure.
When and why did you become a police officer?
Well, Brandon, I've always wanted to be a police officer, almost since I was your age. And so what I strive to do is do good in school and to take the types of classes that would maybe benefit me as a police officer. And so I always tried to pick my friends wisely, because I knew that if I strayed off the path and I got in trouble or got arrested, that it would keep me from being a police officer. So I always had that in my mind, and so since I was about your age, I wanted to be that police officer. So as I graduated from high school, and then I went to college, I got a 4-year degree in criminal justice, and then I got my first police job.
Hi, I'm Charlie. I'm from the CAR. What does the Constitution mean to you, and why is it important?
Charlie, that's a great question. The Constitution means a lot to me. I'm going to read just quickly out of Article 6 of the United States Constitution. It says, "This Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States, shall be the supreme law of the land." You see, the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. It's the law that we should all follow, and particularly police officers. And Article 6 actually continues on, and it says, the senators and representatives before mentioned, and the members of the several state legislators, and all executive and judicial officers, both of the United States and of the several states, shall be bound by oath of affirmation to support this Constitution. You see, every elected official, every public servant, whether you're a fireman, police officer, county councilman, city councilman, auditor, mayor, you take an oath. You take an oath of office, and you affirm or swear under oath that you will support and defend the Constitution. You're not supporting and saying, or you're not promising that you're going to write speeding tickets or arrest bad guys or keep a jail, although those are important tasks of a sheriff. It's the most important thing is your oath of office and to uphold the Constitution.
I'm Kaylee. I'm from the CAR. What aspects of the Constitution are most relevant to the issues of today?
Well, I would say that the Constitution, the whole thing is relevant. And the problem we have in society today are elected officials and people that would suggest that the Constitution isn't relevant, and we stray from that path. You see, that very oath that I talked about with Charlie is so important because our founding fathers knew that there could be people who make mistakes, just like us. We can all make mistakes. And there can be people, possibly even evil men, who would try to overturn the principles of the Constitution. So if we follow the Constitution, it's not perfect in every sense of the word, but it's the best we have, and it's a great country to live in. And if we have this, if we follow and obey the Constitution, it'll keep us out of trouble in the long run.
Who is your favorite American hero?
Who is my favorite American hero? That's a great question. You know, it was difficult to actually pick one, and so what I'm going to say is I have quite a few of them, and I'm just going to read a few of them. John Hancock, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Harrison, Benjamin Rush, John Penn. Do you know who those people were? Those are people that signed the Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of Independence, you see, was the first document that declared that the United States would be free from the control of Great Britain. And when they signed that document, do you know what they were doing? They were brave men that signed it, and they were signing their death warrant. When they signed that, they knew that the king would come after them and possibly kill them. And so that all started with the Declaration of Independence, and then 11 years later we have our Constitution. But I tell you what, those brave men that signed the Declaration of Independence are heroes to me.
I'm Callie from the Princess Mishawaka Society. What event in history most speaks to you, and does it have any impact to your philosophy?
Well, I believe that, again, the Declaration of Independence, but then the formulation of the Constitution 11 years later, and of course the Revolution, the Revolutionary War, and the blood that was shed to obtain the freedoms that we have today. And the fact that you're involved in groups like Children of the American Revolution, that's a great testament of the sacrifices that those who went before us made. And sometimes we take that for granted. And so I have to go back, as far as to answer your question, I have to go back to say that the Declaration of Independence and the making of the Constitution, which really is the foundation for everything that we have today and our freedoms and liberties, and being able to even meet and do this without government intervention, that we could talk about these types of things.
My name is Rachel. I'm from WTK Teens. What are the most positive things about America?
Well, I think the most positive things about America are really the freedoms that we have. I have to go back to the Declaration of Independence, and one of the things that it talks about is the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And it doesn't mean that they don't guarantee happiness. It's just the pursuit of happiness. And the thing about it is the government doesn't give us these freedoms. They're what we call unalienable rights from God. They're given to us by God. And so the government is not in a position to give us rights. We already have them. The Constitution is there to guarantee those rights, to guarantee that the government will defend those rights for us. And so that's what's neat about America is it's a republic. It's not a democracy in the true sense of the word. if it was a democracy and I said, okay, a majority of the kids here says it's okay to punch Jacob in the nose. Well, that's a democracy and the majority would rule in that sense. But we know that that's not a good thing to do. And so in a republic, we have the rule of law, essentially our Constitution, that says no, that protects Jacob from a mass mob coming together and say, we want to punch him in the nose. And it protects him to have his freedoms and his liberties. And people like law enforcement officers, sheriffs, will then help protect those rights, whether it's you're being victimized from a criminal or maybe even the government themselves. The sheriff can step in and help interpose or intervene in that situation.
I'm Amanda from CAR. How important are the First, Second, and Fourth Amendments to the United States Constitution to you while performing your duties as sheriff?
Well, Amanda, they're most important. The First Amendment, of course, has to do with the freedom of religion, the freedom of press, the freedom of speech, and the freedom of assembly, and to actually provide grievance towards the government if you had something that's been done wrong. And law enforcement can help in protecting those rights. Even though I may not agree with what the individuals are saying, they still have a right to freedom of speech. Now that doesn't mean that you can shout fire in a crowded theater and cause a riot and things like that, but by and large, you can say the many things that you'd want to say, and even reporters. Reporters have the ability to write in the media, in the press, what they want to say, and that really helps. If they do it right, it really helps keep the government in check. Now, to go further on that, the Second Amendment is most important because it's the right to bear arms. And we in law enforcement, most people in law enforcement would say that the firearms in the hands of law-abiding citizens is a good thing because, quite frankly, the police can't protect everybody. We can't do the whole thing. And so I believe our founding fathers knew that people would need protection. And quite frankly, the Second Amendment, it was designed to protect against tyranny. And so it's important that we keep that amendment in place and those freedoms to defend ourselves. And then with the Fourth Amendment, of course, the Fourth Amendment has to do with searches and seizures. And of course, the Fourth Amendment says that we're not free from all searches and seizures, just unreasonable ones. And of course, what makes it unreasonable depends on our society and our courts and possibly even where you live. But it's important that you have constitutional leaders that would protect your rights and make sure they're watching out for the First, Second, and Fourth Amendments. Good question.
All right. I'm Matthew from WTK Teens. Now, why is it important that America's kids learn of our history, the way of the government, and the Constitution?
That's a great question, Matthew. You know, it's we're sitting here today talking about this type of thing, and it is the type of thing that if we don't teach our kids about the Constitution, about the freedoms and liberties that were fought for in the American Revolution, that were established in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, then we're going to be prone to forget. We're going to be prone to move on into our own devices and to do things that are contrary to this. And so it's important that we continue to teach about the Constitution, to teach what's important and fundamental in America, and how that impacts us not only growing up as young children that you are, but as you get out on your own and you have your own jobs and you buy your own cars and pay your own bills and things like that. It's all part of the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Once again, I'm Amanda from CAR. Can you tell me of your involvement in the Constitutional Sheriffs and Police Officers Association and what the organization does?
Yeah, the Constitutional Sheriffs or Peace Officers Association, or we also call it the CSPOA for short, is an organization of police officers and sheriffs. Most of the time it's chiefs of police, sheriffs, sometimes even county commissioners that will join together, and we respect the Constitution, and we try to educate about the Constitution and how it impacts our particular jobs. You see, a sheriff is the highest elected law enforcement officer in the nation. And so that really, that with it comes some great responsibility, and making sure that not only do we do the daily tasks at hand, but we also protect the citizens' rights that we oversee. And so the CSPOA is certainly not a promoter of violence of any sense of the word. We're a promoter of trying to educate not only law enforcement but the public, and help them understand that one of the many ways that we can help get our country back and on the right path of the Constitution is through our law enforcement officials.
Okay, again, I'm Rachel from WTK Teens, and I have our last question for you. What message would you send to America's youth?
Wow, you know, America's youth, you're our future, and you're the future leaders that are sitting here. And we've got to remember that our founding fathers were willing to die for the Declaration of Independence and for the Constitution that they formulated. And so we need to make sure that we stay on that straight and narrow course. And as you become the future leaders, as you become maybe the future elected officials, that you remember about the oath of office and protecting the Constitution. Because if all else fails, we're going to go towards a path of destruction. So I encourage the youth of today to not only make sure you read the Constitution and get a good working knowledge of it so that you can defend it. It's hard to take an oath of office and defend the Constitution if you don't even know what's in it. So it's very good to learn about that Constitution. Thank you.
I want to thank the panel, and I want to thank Sheriff Rogers. We would like to present a We the Kids t-shirt to you.
Oh, wow. Very good.
And then
Very nice.
we'd like to present you a book entitled What Would Our Founding Fathers Think by David Bowman.
All right. Well, very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I would like to present each one of the kids today with a pocket Constitution and Declaration of Independence. So I will pass one of these to each one of you. Okay? Right there. Thank you. Very good. Thank you.